What is premium financing? Part 2. So premium financing is set up typically, in these situations, it's done for people who have either a household income that's over $100,000 a year. So, husband, mom, dad, they each have their own incomes, and, that either aligns to be over that, or maybe, husband or wife, mom or dad, makes that on their own, and then they have additional income. And then there's different levels to that. They go from there. It's people worth $2.5 million, and then people worth $5 million. So it's for people who do well in general, that are fortunate enough to have the ability to supercharge their retirement, specifically tax-free retirement, through utilizing a permanent life insurance policy, whether that be whole life or indexed universal life. And there's stark differences in the two. Both can get you where you want to go depending on the company that you place it with. And, I work with a lot of different companies simply for that reason, because not everybody's situation is created equal. So, and I shouldn't even say equal, they're just not the same. Everybody has their own personal goals. Everybody has the way they want things done or how they'd like to see them done. So, with that, sometimes people's goals, like in this situation, some people, part of their goals is they want to put money into this savings asset where it'll grow. But by the same token, they want to be able to leverage the asset by being able to take out a loan against the money they have in there and utilizing it for some other sort of investment. And in this scenario, you don't have that ability, at least not for 15 years, unless you pay it off sooner. So typically with the premium financing, you are paying, it just depends on the situation, depends on how much it is, depends on how big the loan amount is that they're putting in to premium every year. It will depend on collateral if it's needed. And you're saying, well, why would I want to do collateral? Well, collateral can be a portion of a trading account where you have stocks in there that you're never going to sell because maybe they're dividend paying, maybe they're blue chip stocks, maybe there's something else, but you're not looking at selling them. So rather than liquidating that in order to put money into this, you keep that there, and then they put some sort of lien or security against it, and then you pay a certain amount out of pocket every year. So maybe it's a portion of the premium. Maybe maybe you're paying half of the premium and then the bank's paying half the premium. So maybe it's 20,000 and 20,000, or maybe it's 100,000 and 100,000. It can be all scales, but it's 50-50. So in the bank's eyes, you have some skin in the game. You've contributed. You're not just doing this and don't have any risk involved. I mean, there is some risk, but it's minimal. And the way it works is that you pay your portion. So you're paying your portion no matter how big or small that is, depending on the arrangement, depending on the lender. And in some cases, it's very minimal in comparison to what you get. And they'll pay in for 10 years. And after 10 years, you can't put any more money into the particular policy, but it's designed that way. So it's called a 10-pay policy. So they're doing 10-pay, and then it'll take up to 15 years to hit to where between the interest on the loan and all that concerned, unless you're paying interest only, and not paying premium. There again, it depends on the lender. It depends on how they situate this. But if you paid into it for those 10 years and then it grew for another 5, in most cases, or almost all cases, I won't say all of them because there's always that possibility it didn't, but I haven't seen one that hasn't. They always have a large excess of money above and beyond whatever the loan payoff is. So when you get to the end of that 15th year, you hit day 1 of year 16, that loan is paid off by the cash, part of the cash value, and then you have cash value left. So then you have liquidity. So as soon as you pay off the loan, you have liquidity again. That's one thing you lose, is you lose liquidity. You can't borrow the money because it being used to secure the loan. So with it being used to secure the loan, it's, in essence, it's kind of the same idea of having your money in an IRA. An IRA, 401k, whatever, you really have limited, I guess, access to it in a lot of these situations. Most people don't touch it. And in this case, you wouldn't touch it. This is not, or for some, for some people with the infinite bank and everything, this is not their ideal situation. But if you have enough other policies that you can utilize for that, and then you use this where you're using a minimal amount of your cash, this is a beautiful situation because now you can supercharge that. You can put so much money into this other policy where you're using someone else's money. And then you have these other policies over here. You're utilizing, you're leveraging them, you're using them for growth over here. Then at the end of the day, whenever everything's all said and done, you have these policies over here that you've been leveraging the whole time. And then you can take income from that as well. And then you have this other one you can take income from, or maybe you just keep using this one over here for your bank. These, however many policies it is, for your bank. And over here, this one just sits here for your income. And if done right, it's going to be a very comfortable income. This isn't going to be your thought process on an IRA where you live on 4% or 5%, whatever that calculation is. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's 4% is the idea, which 4% is, it's not a whole lot of money typically. I mean, if you made $60,000 a year for many years, then you have to live on 20 or 30 or whatever their calculation is, because you can only put so much into your IRA, for example. That's not comfortable living. And then you have to have other arrangements. You have to have supplements. And for some people, they have that, and then they do this. They do the premium financing, and that's their supplement. Some have 401k. They all have their ways of doing things. But the only reason you can get an income that might be easily equal or greater than over here, one, the limitations. Two, it's pre-tax dollars over here. So over here on the qualified retirement plans, they're the whole government regulation, all of that stuff. They have caps of what you can put in. Well, the cap on life insurance for most insurance companies is $1 million in premium a year. Big difference. And even if you just got a guaranteed rate of 4%, just for example, that's not what we'd be looking at. We'd be looking at a little better than that. And sometimes a lot better than that. It depends on the product, depends on the situation, but you're looking at a whole lot better situation, because if you have the funds, if you have the extra funds, you can always add more. You can add more policies. There's a number of things that go into this, but for overall planning, some people do one or the other. And I myself am going to do the premium financing because I see the value in that. but I also do the infinite banking, and I've been doing it for like 13 years. And I've already technically got tax-free retirement because I've been doing it for so long. But would it be nice to supercharge it and do the premium financing? Absolutely. I have the other policies for liquidity. So for those of you just getting started out, this wouldn't be necessarily something for you right away unless you had the funds. Maybe you had a savings, maybe you had a large savings, maybe you had some stocks you liquidated, maybe you had, I don't know, maybe you're one of these people who's making a killing on cryptocurrency. There's a lot of different ways to get it done, but premium financing is an excellent way to make a nice retirement for yourself. And for anybody who's interested, there's a link below. Schedule a strategy session. We'll go over your individual situation, what you want to accomplish. We'll do a fact-finding mission, and we'll come up with the best possible scenario for you. And we already have lenders and all of that stuff that we work with regularly that do this all the time. Hope this was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and we will catch you on the next one.